What up, what up, what up? Jay Marcell here. You know, I've been gone for a little while. Do another one of my hiatus, really being lazy. Making sure whatever content I come out with got some real validity, got some real weight to it, at least in my mind. So I kind of wait till I get something good, but I'm also being lazy. But here's the point of the matter. You know, I thought about, I was raised in the church amongst Christians. My dad, pastor, wasn't always, but pastor, preacher. Mom's raised me up in Christianity, and that's what I'm used to. That's what I was raised from since I was little. But, as I got older, I started checking out other things and looking into more things. But I knew the book, the Bible. I'd read it and went through it a few times, had respect for it. I won't say that's the only knowledge when it pertains to having an understanding or a concept or perspective of God. Not by far. If you was raised on it, you believe to put your whole soul and essence and being and life on it, hey, I'm not here to knock you on none of that. I just know that my perspective of God is so large that true knowledge, true information about God and life and existence can come from anywhere at any time. So my perspective and where the places and destination I look to see and search for God is quite broad. But I got respect for the book, especially some of the stories. I've heard they are allegorical stories. Cool, whatever. But I know how to take and decipher some of the stories in there to some degree where I can pull some knowledge out of it, or if I can pull something out of it that I actually can use and to help to allow me to do better or maneuver better in this world. I have a thing for the Old Testament, mostly, because there were so many great brothers and sisters in the Old Testament. We didn't hear out of too many females. We didn't hear out of too many specifically blacks or nothing like that. Not cool with that, but whatever. But they had a lot of great stories of individuals who overcame things and went through things. That's what the book is supposed to be trying to get you to see, and what it's trying to convey. It's trying to get you to understand that you are not totally powerless. Now, it directs you towards seeking God's help, because mostly in the Old Testament, by most of the people's names or by most of the people's story, as it was telling about him, it said, but God was with him. And I always caught that. It said, but God was with him. So I always respected that. But as I got older, I wanted to understand and know how God was with these particular people. What made them want to write about these guys that they had this special relationship with God, but that God was with them and took them through these things in particular. They had to have a certain level of knowledge. See, back then the Bible didn't exist. And in the Old Testament, Jesus hadn't popped up on the scene yet, so nobody had wrote nothing yet. But yet it still said, but God was with them. So they had to have a level of knowledge that we don't have now. And some of the trials and tribulations that they went through were scared the average individual. They seemed kind of wild. Jonah was stuck in the belly of a whale. Daniel was thrown in the lion's den. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was thrown in some fiery furnaces. David had to fight Goliath the giant. Most of us wouldn't want to tackle nothing like that. But that was a different time. So I wanted to know what was the information and knowledge they knew that we don't know now. Is it gone? Is it lost? Because from what I understand, as far as I can understand, God ain't changed. There's no such thing as God changing from then to now. God don't change. So that means man changed, man's fell and lost something. He lost the connection. So I wanted to understand why. Was that knowledge and was that information still out there? Was it still available? So I sought. What I see is it's not gone. It's just been hidden from us for a while, but now it's starting to resurface. To be honest with you, everything about the way we perceive God has to change and has to be upgraded. That's a fact. To be honest with you, your health has to change, and it's a force that's coming. There is a force of higher understanding, better knowledge, more awareness. You can see it with people and new products coming out, drinks. I see lemonades, inflammation type drinks, and different products that are coming out that are geared towards going back to the old school. In other words, using old plants, herbs, fruits, vegetables to heal and address certain things. So they're going back, they're trying to go back, and a lot of companies, a lot of people are putting the work in to go research what these particular plants, herbs, fruits, vegetables, whatever they can do. They put it in a different form where we can ingest it, and then we get the nutrients that we need, because we know we're not getting them from the food. So that's one of our biggest challenges too. Our health got to be upgraded. So a lot of things are starting to be renewed. So that connection that we lost, is what's coming back. It was, I like I said, I favor the Old Testament, but don't underestimate me. I understand and comprehend the New Testament also. Only thing about the New Testament I have is, it's as if in the Old Testament you had a lot of prophets, messiahs, and those who was able to do great things in their relationship with God. And it seemed like when the New Testament came, when Yeshua stepped on the scene, they stopped, because you don't hear out of it. No more marvelous men and women. Jesus' whole thing, life takes over. But the trick to his life is, he appears on the scene as an infant. He pops back up on the scene at 12. He disappears and pops back up at 33. So from infant to 12, what was he doing? What was up with him? What was he learning? They say at 12 they had found him sitting and talking to some of the higher prophets and high educated dudes around at that time that were dropping knowledge. And he was found sitting and building with them. So from infant to 12, where did he get that? What is that? Okay, let's get past that. From 12 to 30, from 12 to 30. What's up with that? Now, it was said that he went to Egypt. That is said. That is documented. He went to Egypt. So we know he learned something then. That's what I'm saying. This type of information and knowledge, this type of relationship they had in the Old Testament, New Testament, because even in the New Testament, they say that when Jesus would walk up on anybody who needed to be healed, if you were alive, as long as you were alive and you can talk, he would say, "Do thou believe?" And when they would say, "Yes, it is with thy faith that you are healed." So that in a sense tells me you have to have some kind of a power. You just have to take what you have to, in other words, you have to get used to or define the odds, define what you're seeing in front of you. A lot of it got to do about the way you feel. And where you feel can't come from another place than what you think. So you got to increase on what you think. I've seen people around me feel one way and watch their life kind of spiral down. And I've seen people feel another way and they'll get amped up about something in particular and their life will shoot up and things will start to unfold for them and what they feel. So we got some power. So that's what I said. I wanted to know when it comes to the Old Testament, in the Bible, all those marvelous stories that took place, that knowledge that gave them that connection to God, wasn't totally gone. God hasn't changed. So that knowledge that they were utilizing wasn't totally gone. Will we never get that again? No, that knowledge is back. And anybody who try to study the Bible, try to get an understanding on the Bible, you know there's missing books with some key information in it that we should have known. So we know that knowledge is available and it's around, You just have to hunt for it, and you have to chase for it, and you have to have a big enough mind to expand and get outside of your normal box to go get it. But it's there. But like I said, according to the rhythm on the way I see life moving and watching the products that's coming out, listening to some of the people who are talking from, a lot of them using Neville Goddard. So people are starting to understand manifestation and getting into these different type of concept, vibes and frequencies and all of this. That's the knowledge that we're missing, and that's what is going to come back, and that's what we need to use. And that's what this was all about. So I'm here to say, no, it's not gone. It is here. You just have to go hunt for it. But I'm going to try to bring it to you as best I can. You're starting to see the raindrops. I got to get ready to get out here. So you already know my slogan, mind over matter, because matter don't matter.